Good, beautiful morning, everybody, and welcome to the Friday edition of Shortcuts for Your Soul. My name is William Michael Forbes. I'm a spiritual medium, a channel, and an intuitive life coach. And today I have with me the energy of a group called the Ascended, who want to discuss the concept of happiness and that you're so much closer to happiness than you might think you are. And I'm very intrigued about that. Good morning, Bridget, Amanda, and Kira. It's good to see you. Before I get started, I just want to remind everybody today is the last day before we run our Masterclass 102 Liberation, which begins tomorrow with the orientation at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. This Masterclass 102, which will literally help liberate you from old emotions that you might be struggling with from this lifetime and others, because you carry imprints from other lifetimes, not just from the years and days past. You carry imprints of those in this lifetime, but you carry the imprint of this entire lifetime forward with you, as you've done many times before. And you can release those old emotions so they don't keep you impeded in time, space, and matter longer than you need to be. So welcome, everybody. Glad you could make it. One of the things they said this morning is that people are so enamored with the sensations of the world that they've left the very place they live, not even knowing that they've left it at all. That place is the source of your happiness. It's where you live within yourself. It is not your thinking mind. Your thinking mind is but an instrument that you use as a function of your consciousness to interact with this world. You, the you that we are speaking to now, you are the primary source of your happiness in this world. The ultimate source of your happiness is the source of life within you. You cannot find the source of your life in the world. You can find sources of sustenance to sustain the existence of your body, such as food and shelter and clothing, can sustain and preserve the well-being of your physical body. However, the source of your life is something that is internal to you. In this world, you are responsible for both your pain and your suffering. When you recognize that your thinking mind, your body, and your memories are not the elements of the self that determine who you are, but you are the self that determines how these elements will aid you or impede you. You are ultimately the source of your happiness in this world. There is no one in this world, not even your body, can get as close to you as you can to yourself. And how do you go about getting close to yourself to discover this happiness of which we speak? The first thing you need to learn to do is to make the distinction between yourself as the physical form, yourself as the mind, yourself as memory, yourself as make the distinction between who you are and these instruments that let you navigate through this material world. There's a clear distinction, and many of you confuse yourself with the thoughts as being yourself, or your memories as being yourself, or your body as being yourself. They are instruments, a vehicle that allow you to interact with, navigate, drive, move through this physical dimension of time and space. That is all your mind, your body, and your emotions are instruments for navigation through this physical dimension. When you learn to separate yourself, and we do not mean to disconnect from, we mean to make the distinction between your thoughts and your awareness, your body and your awareness, your memories and your awareness. When you begin to make a distinction, you begin to reflect upon that which you are, then you'll become more familiar with who you really are. And there's a certain bliss that happens when you get disentangled from the illusionary self that has been provided to you by the environment, that you can disconnect from that illusory self and begin to connect to the being that you are, which from our perspective is is a direct extension of God into this world. You are a direct extension of God into this world, given the mechanisms of flesh and thought and emotion, again, as mechanisms for navigating creatively through this dimension. But you are a direct extension of this life source that is within you. When you begin to distinguish your awareness from your thoughts, when you become aware that you are not your thoughts, you have thoughts, you will find you'll be less troubled realizing, oh, those thoughts are not who I am. Those thoughts are ideas that were given to me. This physical form is but an instrument that I use to live through this world, but it is not who I am. I am the one that operates this form. I am not these emotions. These emotions are products of thoughts and experiences, but they are not who I am. They're not who you are. Your thoughts, your memories, your emotions, your physical form are not who you are. They're instruments you utilize. When you can distinguish between the instruments and the one who is operating the instrument, you'll move very quickly to a state of what we call peace and bliss. It is often found through the common practice that many of you know of as meditation, which means you simply learn the function of distinguishing yourself from your mind, your body, your thoughts, and your emotions, so you're no longer subjective to those instruments anymore. And in the experience of your being, which you experienced when you first came into this world deliciously for several years, deliciously you experienced the freedom of being that which you are, the joy of being, doing. You can see this among little children, the unabandoned, free expression of their consciousness. That, of course, needs to be directed and guided in order to survive and navigate through the creative effects that you see around you, which are products of other individuals that recognize the function of creation as an extension of the self. Creation is an extension of yourself. The environment you are in is an extension of the self. The thoughts that you have are an extension of self, but they are not who you are. In the moment where you can evaluate, reflect upon yourself, not upon the thoughts, not upon the memories, not upon the flesh, not upon the emotions. Reflect upon yourself. You exist independent of thought. You exist independent of emotion. You exist independent of flesh. When you begin to reflect on this aspect to which we refer, you have many terms that have been given to you in these last 200 years. The ego, the high C, the higher self, the soul, the spirit, divine entity. There are many names that have been given as language to try and articulate what you are, but the language will not let you know what you are. It simply gives you an idea of what you are. The only way to know what you are is to experience. Take a moment with us to breathe and relax your body. Put your body aside into relaxation. Turn to your thinking, remembering busy little mind, and say to it, be still. Be still. Be quiet. Be peaceful. You have that authority. Do this. As the mind quiets and the body relaxes under your direction, there's a function that begins to happen. You begin to get disentangled from the amassed thoughts and memories of this life and others. You begin to differentiate yourself from flesh, form, emotion, and biology. You begin to become aware that you are indeed independent of thought, independent of emotion, independent of memory, and that in this position of self-awareness, you begin to gain access to elements of your being that cannot be discovered through any other means in this world, no matter how much wealth you accumulate, no matter how much excitation you can get for your senses, no matter how much intelligence you cultivate about the world and what you know in it, cannot compare to the nature of the experience that is you as you truly are. The bliss that comes with being able to distinguish yourself from the worldly self puts you into a position of experiencing. So give your mind permission to be quiet. Learn to understand that when you have thoughts, images, memories trying to distract you and keep you enslaved to them, and you simply say, that is not who I am. I am not those thoughts. I am not those emotions. I am not those memories. I have them, but I am not them. And this I that you are that makes this declaration that I am not these thoughts, I'm not these emotions, I'm not these memories, I'm not this body, I have these things. This I that makes that definitive choice of awareness begins a process of what is commonly known in many of your mystical circles as self-realization, where you can begin to realize yourself as you are, as consciousness, as a sentient being, as a soul, a spirit of universal light, dancing in the realm of time and space and matter. You begin to realize that self, independent of the persona that is manufactured for you by this environment from the moment you were brought into this world. Your personality was built for you mostly without your participation. In fact, the world has demanded your submission to what it told you to believe, to say, to think, to do. The world has placed you into submission to the world. And self-realization is recognizing you are not in submission to the world is in submission to you. Your mind, your memory, your emotions, your thoughts, your biology, all but instruments that in your realized state can be governed to operate in very precise and specific ways according to your will and not the will of the personality construct that has been provided to you by the grace of this world. Your life is provided to you by the grace of God, the all-loving creator that is beating all of the hearts that are here with us right now, that is digesting and organizing all your food, that all-loving intelligence that does these things for you that you are most often unaware. But in the process of self-realization, you learn to distinguish yourself from the confines of the personality, from the instrument. You can then begin a process of reflecting upon what you truly are, the nature and source of your life. The distinction between your personality and yourself, once established, brings you peace and happiness, because happiness is your true nature. Your true nature is creation, and creation is love. As the Creator made you to learn to create in this dimension, you are made of love. And what you can create may be made of love also, but in this world you have this element of free will where you can decide to create in ways that can be very difficult to manage sometimes. You can create things that are difficult. But in this place of learning to make the distinction between your mind and your body, your emotions, your thoughts, in that place where you begin to become familiar with yourself as not these things, you begin to awaken to your true nature. And in awakening to your true nature, you can begin to introduce to your mind, to your body, to your emotions, the self that you wish to embody and be in this world. You do not wish to be in fear, do you? Why would you embody that? You can disembody your fear, release it from your life. You do not wish to live in guilt and shame. It is not very pleasant, is it? But you may release that from your life. There are ways that you, at the point of this self-realization, you can begin to effect conscious and deliberate changes in your physical personality, your mental structure, your emotional energy, in the process of self-realization, you can observe thoughts and memories and ascertain the way you would like to change them or alter their effects upon your life. But this moment of self-realization is but the doorway to beginning that process of restructuring your mind and body and emotions to be in alignment with your true nature, which is love. Your true nature is love, as creation is love. You were created from love. You are able to create from love. In the recognition of your true nature, what greater joy could one ask for than to be in love, to be as love, to know that love is what you are? Love is what you are. What greater happiness could come to you than to realize this? What greater happiness could come to you than to realize that you are love? That it is not something you acquire as a sensation or as great wealth, as these things will turn to dust in their own time, but that you are a function of love. Wholly and completely in this realization, the world around you shall be transformed in the most remarkable and simplistic ways, but it will become quite obvious to you that when you are functioning from the realized self, that function of self that is love, that the world around you shall begin to reflect that. If you are still captivated by the functions of fear and self-doubt and anger and judgment and attack and aggression and desire, if you're controlled by these things, then you will be one day happy and one day sad. Sometimes you can be sad for many days, and other days you can be happy for some days. But if you're basing your sense of long-term well-being and happiness upon what you will acquire from this world, you will experience repeated disappointment. But in the realization of yourself, recognizing your love, things can come and go from your life, and you can remain at peace and undisturbed. People, places, events will all change around you in this world. That is the nature of this world, is transformation, change. It is a function of creation that you all participate in. And your happiness comes when you realize who you are as a creating intelligence, when you are able to no longer be subjugated to the whims of the world that were imposed upon you long before you could cognizantly evaluate the thoughts and ideas that were being presented to you. Many thoughts, ideas, and experiences that you had no conscious choice over. And so you find yourself, though, often in the effects of those unconscious choices, events that were imposed upon you, situations and circumstances. And yet, at any time, you can begin to realize, I am not my circumstances. I am not my memories. I am not my emotions. I'm not my thoughts. I am a soul here in this realm to learn the function of creation. This is what you are. You are not memory. You are not thought. You are not emotion. You are a soul, a creating consciousness, manifested by a greater consciousness, 1,000 times, 1,000,000 times, countless times brighter and more alive and aware than you are, which you may, in the realization of yourself, begin the process of exploring that self which made you, that God, that deity, at that point where you are no longer subjugated to the whims of the environment and the senses, the whims of past memories. When you are able to begin to explore beyond what you know, you may perhaps encounter the great all-loving intelligence that beats your heart right now. With great consistency and persistency, in spite of your errors, in spite of your suffering, in spite of your fears, there is this light inside you now that beats that heart inside your chest. Its way of letting you know, I am always with you. If you choose to discover who I am, that is this life within you, you might find eternal happiness. What an interesting concept, to find eternal happiness, that it is so close to you that if you take one breath in the proper fashion, you could stumble right into the very arms of love itself and discover the freedom from suffering that you cannot find relief from in this world. The pursuit of all wealth, all material acquisitions, the pursuit of power and authority over others will never yield the full measure of happiness that is truly available to every individual upon the face of this earth, if they so choose to pursue it. And we encourage you to pursue your happiness, for you are that source. And the source that made you can be pursued when you realize the source of yourself. That you are love. That you are not simply a collage of memory and emotion, thought and physiology. You are a spiritual entity. In the revelation and realization of yourself, these instruments then become magnificent tools for service and creation, to experience what is your function. What is your function? When you know yourself, your function will change from what you've been conditioned to believe you are supposed to be. As many of you have been told you should be this, and you should be this, and you should be this. Very few of you taking the time to reflect on or even consider, what is behind all my thoughts? How am I existing? Where do these emotions originate? What is this body that I have? What is its function and form? What is its purpose? Many of you rarely get to the point where you begin to evaluate and question the nature of who you are, believing wrongfully that the thoughts stuffed into that gray matter between your ears is the source of your identity. And yet, that invisible world of thought is still not who you are. And while you are invisible, only articulated through the expression of energy through the form to this world, you are not the form, you are the soul, the spirit of universal light, living within the form, hearing these words right now from us. You are a soul. You are not your thoughts. You are not your memories. You are not your emotions. You are certainly not your body, but these are all valuable instruments that were given to you that you might learn the function of creation as your Father gave to you to be in his image and likeness as a creator. It will be a very interesting road. The road can be longer or shorter to self-realization. But once you jump on the boat, so to speak, and you are in earnest about how you will choose to engage this function, when you choose to engage that, you will find great freedom. A freedom greater, a joy greater than any that could ever be provided to you in any measure in this physical world. You can experience great bliss in this world as well, but it must be established in your own heart to be able to experience it or even to recognize it, as you can only recognize in this world what you hold in your own heart. If you hold anger in your heart, then you will only recognize things that are of anger. If you hold joy in your heart, you will recognize things of joy. If you hold sadness, then you will recognize things of sadness. You will be stuck on what you are attending to. So save yourself time. Begin the process of self-realization today. Begin to make the distinction, at least the very fundamental choice, to know that you are not your thoughts, to realize your thoughts are not you, and therefore, because they are not you, they have no authority over you. But that might be difficult for some to consider, that your thoughts are just information you've acquired from this world, most of it not of your own volition, your own choice. But that place of distinction between what you are and your thoughts will move you quite rapidly to a source of happiness and a source of relief when you realize all the thoughts in your mind are not what tell you who you are. No matter what thoughts others have given you, those thoughts that others have given you, even what we would give you, do not define what you are for you. It is your experience of yourself that will define you for yourself. And when you experience yourself as you are, there is a great bliss that happens, a great freedom and a great relief. We encourage you to stay vigilant. Be conscious that your thoughts are pleasing to you, because many of your thoughts were given to you. Be mindful of the source. If you're going to use this world as a source of thought, be mindful of what sources you will get those thoughts from. It is better to go within yourself to find that that light that beats your heart and acquire some ideas from God about what you should think, what you should say, what you should do. For what the world has given you is all the world that can give you. But what the divine can give you is very different than what the world has given you. The statement, you must lose yourself to find yourself. You must die to be reborn. These statements refer to this process of self-realization to which we're referring, where you no longer stay trapped in the mud of your mind. You resurrect yourself from the enslavement to thoughts and memories and emotions. You arise. You rise from the burial ground within your own mind, that you are not dead. You are alive. You are not your thoughts. Just this awareness alone can open up a great and profound transformation in your life, that you are not your thoughts. Many of your thoughts were somebody else's. When you realize you have the right and the power to choose thought that you want to think, well, then you will begin the journey of self-realization. Thank you. Wow. Thank you. I want to say thank you to the Ascended for that beautiful message today. Very exciting time for us all. We'll be running a little short today. I have wonderful things happening, and I want to get going. We've got lots of questions we want to get to. I want to remind, just want to remind everybody. Somebody drew so saying 102 is the best. You've got if you want to make the orientation, we will leave registration for Masterclass 102 open until Sunday at noon hour. Beyond that, registration will be closed. But if you want to make it to the orientation tomorrow, which gives you an overview of the classes and the masters and the beings that are going to be teaching this course, you'll need to register by 10 p.m. this evening. At that time, we send out all of our study guides and itineraries to all the students, which contains your course information, how to get set up for the course, and all the links to all the live events of the course. The course is 3 weeks long. It costs $199. There are live events running from Sunday to Friday every week for a 3-week period. This course will do exactly what the Ascended are talking about. They're one of the instructional groups that come through in the class, along with Master Jesus and Buddha, Kuan Yin, and many others that come through me to share their wisdom and knowledge, to elevate us up to our natural state, which is being awake and aware. That place is quite beautiful. And I hope you remember to sign up today. Go to WilliamMichaelForbes.com. It's Masterclass 102, Liberation. Once you go to the courses section on the website, all the details about what you're going to be presented with and what you're going to learn in the course is there. But what you see in those details is still only a small portion of what you're actually going to learn and experience. And again, we've had many students that have come back to the course multiple times. We have many new people come, and they all say the same thing. Every course is different, and they have had no idea it was going to be as profoundly life-changing as it is. So I encourage you, go sign up today. You don't have much time. Let's get to a few questions now, everybody. Good morning, Tanya. Good to see you. Leslie, I'm suffering a lot of pain just from getting up this morning. I'm pretty sure it's from the assaultings. X-rays said nothing broken. Could you say it's from the assaultings? What could help me? You know, what we focus on affects our bodies. Even what other people think about you can affect you. You know, you look at all these presidents and world leaders that they go into office, they look vibrant and so peachy keen, and in a couple of years they're looking really haggard and worn because the thoughts of everybody around them affect them. But more importantly, the thoughts that you hold in your own mind and heart about yourself and about the world affect you more profoundly than anything that anybody else could say or do from a spiritual standpoint. So again, I encourage you to be mindful. Again, I was first told to tell you, you need to remove any acid-forming foods from your diet. Any acid-forming foods, you need to remove them from your diet, Leslie. And also watch what you're letting your mind think. Very important to not let your mind think whatever it's been programmed to think. Question from Drusilla. Hi, William. I had a kind of a peak at ascension when I was visited by a light being. It lasted about a week and slowly faded. How do I have that again? You've been asking for it for a long time, Drusilla. I'm being told to tell you, you've been asking for this for a long time. This is not a state that is because of my presence with you. This is because of the state that you've achieved to the degree you've achieved it. You must become more diligent in your function of love, how you honor and cherish the sacred temple, how you honor and cherish the sweetness of your mind, how you honor and cherish yourself, to realize your nature of love, that is your true nature. If you wish to have the experience again, you are the experience. I simply came to you because you were at that point where you were able to experience that with me, as I am already that. But you must learn a little bit more to sustain it and keep alive that which is alive within you already. You are reflecting upon the experience as if it were something that is separate from you. But you were and are the experience of that light. You are the light. You are the light. Remember this. It is not something that will come again. It is something that is always with you because you are always of the light. Making the distinction between your mind, your emotions, your memory, and your body will go a great deal towards allowing you to be free to see yourself as you truly are, to remember what you are. Wow, thank you. Thank you for sending that love to Leslie. She needs it. Denny's saying, I'll never love again anything. Oh, remember, hurricanes are energy. Have no fear. Denny, have no fear. Fear is an organizer of matter. Love is an organizer of matter. These are things you come and join Masterclass 102, Denny, and you'll learn how to get out of all that fear. You won't have to spend another lifetime or two in that energy anymore. So many people repeat fear and guilt and shame for lifetimes. It's very difficult and uncomfortable. I know because I've done it. Stop it. Get the knowledge and skills from these ascended beings that will show you how to let go of it. You know, every single sentient being that comes into this world, whether it's a dog or a cat or a human being or a tree or a blade of grass or a milkweed or a monarch butterfly, everything that comes in this world is temporary. It's a delicious dance to kiss life while to kiss this life while we're here. You know, and every single being, every living form, every molecule that comes into this physical existence comes here to experience the experience of transformation and change from one state to another. And Tanya, I just want to say that this being that you love so deeply loves you deeply equally. And its time, you know, is with limits. But that does not mean that because the flesh flees this world, that the spirit has left as well. Be grateful for the time that you have to experience this profound love and gratitude. We cannot stop change. We embrace it. When you embrace change and you are unafraid of the comings and goings of individuals that enter your sphere of experience in this dimension, and you say, I greet you with love, I release you with love. Let love be the guiding principle for how you will interact with the transformation and changes that occur while you're in this physical dimension. Wow, that's really cool. Hi, guys. What are the benefits of having knowledge of our past lives in our current lives? That's a really great question, Mama. Let me just check in here. The only benefit to having memory or acquiring memory of your past lives is to release those things that do not serve you. You do not need to know what your past lives are in order to accomplish this, The mere recognition of uncomfortable or unpleasant emotions that seem unfamiliar to you can give you access to that process of release. But if you wish to have some new advantage in this life that you might gain from a previous lifetime, you might call forth that information, that wisdom and knowledge and experience. You can have that if you wish to. But generally speaking, you are here to remember who you are, not to lose yourself further in different personalities. You're here to remember who you are, not lose yourself in other personalities. You've come through many lifetimes, still trying to get to the destination, and the destination is within. The destination is not in the world. Many of you think that the acquisition of wealth and power are going to give you the joy and the fulfillment that you seek. And if you use these things rightly and properly, they can give you certain degrees of joy and fulfillment, but they cannot give you the most wondrous possible happiness you can attain, which is the attainment of remembering who you are, remembering yourself as you are, and being that which you are. That is far more delicious than the experience of simply having information from previous lifetimes. Remember who you are as a spiritual entity. Because when you can come closer to who you are, when you realize that you are not your thoughts, you are not your memories, you are not your emotions, you are not the flesh, you begin to experience yourself very differently than the world has fashioned you to experience yourself through the form. It gives you the opportunity then to reflect upon, if I exist independent of my thoughts, my memories, my emotions, my body, if I exist independent of these, then who am I and from where did I come? And then the pursuit is, from where did you originate? You did not originate from this world, you came into this world. The exploration is within. Wow, I love that. Hi, guys. Any message from my guide, Bob Proctor? Thank you so much. Yeah, first words that I got, it's funny. I guess this is higher self, but the first thing I'm getting very clearly is, don't let your mind think for you. You must think your own thoughts. Do not let your mind think for you. Wow. Thanks, Bob. Just scrolling through here. Yes, I know, I gotta get ready. Oh, you're very welcome, Michelle. Oh, you're welcome. I was told that my family was cursed for not having true love. Can you see on which side? First of all, people that want to curse you have no authority other than the authority that you give them. Love is your true nature. It is the true nature of every individual. Even the one that would curse you is not the curse, but is something very different than they think they are. But none can curse you if love is all you recognize you are. You are love. You are love. Love cannot be threatened. Love cannot be threatened in any way. Remember this. Do not seek to find validation for this so-called curse, because you will find it. We will not give you such validation because we know that your true nature is that you are love. That is your true nature. You are love. That is the truth. And it certainly is the truth. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Drusilla. I appreciate that super chat. Drusilla says, I think the 102 is the most important. Amazing. I've taken it 3 or 4 times. Thank you. Yeah, you have. You've been amazing too. So much change in your life, Drusilla. Nature's asking, I've seen my deceased cousin in my dream. He had a heart surgery, but he looked fine. I hugged him and put my head on his heart. What is he trying to tell me? Thank you, William. He's trying to tell you that he just simply wanted to receive love. He simply wanted to receive your love, and you gave it to him. He's very happy about that. He might even remember that. I'm going to heal my kitty. He has a lot of life my life in him. Good for you, because you have that authority. Jesus had that authority, that his declaration of love was so powerful that he could heal the people that are willing, open, and receptive to it, right? But there's other things at play here too. I'm going to take one more question from YouTube, and I'll take one more question from TikTok. Just scrolling down here. You're very welcome. Yeah. Found a person who wants to help with my surfwear company. I feel like it's going to be good. Congratulations. That's wonderful, Kukuban. As long as you both share the passion and the vision, there's an inevitable outcome. They always tell me that. They said there's a certain point in your development that outcomes are no longer possible. They're inevitable. When you gain enough knowledge and spiritual wisdom and practice, certain outcomes are inevitable. Not possible, not likely, inevitable. And I love that. I love that idea that there's a certain point that we can get ourselves to, that certain things become inevitable. Happiness, joy, fulfillment become inevitable. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yes. Congratulations, Tanya. For what it's worth, I transmit my love, my grace, and my healing to your little kitty cat, if that's okay with you, to just transmit that energy to that little being that you're working with. Okay. Thank you. That's wonderful that you got that. Yeah. So Iris, yeah, Mario is not that far from you. He's not that far from you at all. That's what I'm feeling right now. He's not far from you at all. He's like right next to you. The moment you think about somebody that you miss, you set up an immediate connection in consciousness with them, whether they're in this physical dimension or not in this physical dimension. You think about anybody, you form an immediate connection with them. The connection will be really strong or very weak. The stronger the connection, the more likely the connection will be realized. It's how many times you've been thinking about somebody that you haven't heard from in a long time, and suddenly they call you on the phone. Oh, I was just thinking about you. And I was just thinking about you too. How many times that happened to you? Because thought is not bound by the same laws of physics that like words are. Words are bound by functions of physics. It travels at a certain speed. Its speed and rate diminish according to the law of the inverse square. There's different things that happen with spoken words, but thought has no limit. Nothing can stop a thought. So whenever you think about somebody or remember somebody, you're literally connecting energetically to them to some degree. Okay, I think that we're done for today. I got a bunch of wonderful things to do today, and I want to wish you all much love. I'll see tomorrow's Shortcuts for Your Soul will not be occurring tomorrow. If it does, it will be 10 a.m. It depends on, again, the location I'm in and what's happening at that time. But hopefully, if I'm available, I'll be able to do shortcuts at 10 a.m., which is our meditation segment for our program. And I want to remind you, you've only got a couple days left to sign up for Masterclass 102 Liberation. This is a life-changing course that will heal your mind and body in ways that you didn't think possible. When you realize that you are the agent, you are the source, and the place through which your healing is going to happen, this is the course that will teach you that, and you'll experience that fully and completely. Have yourselves a wonderful, a joyful day. And for those of you that are already signed up for the Masterclass, I'll be looking forward to seeing you at the orientation at 11 a.m. tomorrow Eastern Standard Time. And that'll last about 30 to 45 minutes and give you an overview of what you can expect for the next 3 weeks. It's going to be quite a lineup of beings that are going to be coming to the Masterclass with us. Much love, everybody. Take good care. But who we got here? Somebody just come on with me. Who are you? Hello? Somebody tried to come on. I don't know how they came on, but they did. Thank you for the gift. I appreciate that. Thank you for subscribing. I appreciate that too. For those of you on TikTok, if you want to see close to 1,000 different channelings that have come through me, you go to my YouTube channel, WilliamMichaelForbes.com, and check out the live video section and the other video section, and you'll get a wide array of different messages from different beings over the last 5.5 years that I've transmitted. Take care, everybody. Much love. Bye for now.